Okay, it's the end of July. We still safely have 2 more hot months ahead of us, even though it feels like kids are going back to school and summer is winding down. We still have 2 more hot months ahead of us. I am getting flooded with emails every week by women who can't keep their makeup on. We're going to talk about that today. So I have some great tips. If you are here and you have oily skin and you're having trouble with makeup sliding off your face or just gone when you check it halfway through the day, I have some great tips for you, not only as just someone who's 56, I just turned 56 a few days ago, but I know skin. I've been putting women in my makeup chair for 25 more years, and so I know what it takes to keep that makeup looking fresh, to keep it on all day for mature women who are oily in hot, humid summer months. I got you. You're in the right place for oily skin makeup tips. Hey, welcome back to my channel. I'm Michelle Spieler, an over 30-year professional makeup artist. Actually, did I say 30-year? I'm almost 30-year. I'm really more like 20. I'm over 25. Let's put it that way. And I'm the creator of Mature Makeup Masterclass, a series of 22 videos on mature technique, skincare, all makeup, all levels, all skin types, all budgets, and you can always find that link. If anytime you click on the title of the video, a menu drops down, you can always find my Mature Makeup Masterclass on there. Price is raising soon in September, so get in now. Once you're locked in, you're locked in. You never have to pay another dime. It's not a subscription. It's not a membership. And I'm adding more classes all the time. Okay, so today I want to talk to you about oily skin in the summer because I keep getting emails from women making the same mistake. So I thought, well, I'm getting this enough. So this is obviously a common problem. And, you know, maybe you'll learn something new today. No, I do not have oily skin. I have never had oily skin. I am normal to dry. I have a lot of women telling me that they are oily but dry. You can't be oily and dry. Dry skin does not produce sebum. Therefore, we have smaller pores. Oily skin produces sebum. The pores are larger to produce that sebum, that oil. If you feel dry, you have dehydration. And dehydration is completely different from dry skin. Dehydration is something you can control. And dry skin and oily skin, you can't control that. You're just born with that. So if you produce oil through the T-zone, some women produce it everywhere, but if you especially produce it through the T-zone, but you're kind of dry out here, you're dehydrated. So here's what's happening. A lot of women will tell me my makeup's not staying on, my makeup slides off, or it's just too hot for makeup. Right now, it's probably low 90s in North Carolina. I just got back from Nashville. It was high 80s. And it's getting more humid by the day. And nobody feels like wearing makeup. That's why I have my Lashify on, because I would just wear sunscreen. I don't even have sunscreen on yet today because I haven't gone outside or near a window. But I've just been wearing sunscreen and my Lashify, and that's it, a lip balm. It's too hot for makeup when you're outside. And when you're in the house, obviously I wear it. But the problem I'm seeing is women are coming out of winter, they're coming out of spring, they're layering all their skincare, and their makeup doesn't stay on. So when you have oily skin, you don't want too much skincare, especially on hot, humid months. You want to scale back. You wash your face every morning. You want to take off that sebum that maybe you produced while you were sleeping, take off those dry skin, the dead skin cells that produced or slept off when you were sleeping. Of course, I don't have it here, but I love my Paula's Choice. I swipe it all over my face in the morning, takes off all my dead skin. My makeup applies beautifully. My sunscreen applies beautifully. Nothing balls up on me because I got all that dead skin off. A lot of people don't like acids in the morning because it can make them more sun sensitive, but I use it primarily so my skin is smooth and my makeup goes on beautifully. My SPF goes on beautifully. I can't stand it when an SPF balls up. And we used to always think, oh, it's silicone or it's something mixing with something. It's usually dead skin. So let's get that off. Then you might want a vitamin C serum, but you want something very, very light. Very light. And a lot of vitamin C serums have hyaluronic acid already in them. In fact, hyaluronic acid is in almost every skincare product. So by doing vitamin C and then hyaluronic acid, and then someone told me the other day they also layer niacinamide serum. It's too much. It's too much. Your makeup will not stay on. You can do a vitamin C serum, wait for it to absorb in, then you can do a light moisturizer. Now, when I was at the Nashville Makeup Show in June, I was talking to different vendors about what is a good moisturizer for oily skin, because I'm normal to dry and mature. But I still do people in my makeup chair, and I still have a lot of people who are oily who follow me and they want advice. And so B3, the makers of that beautiful prickly pear oil that I always talk about, they said, oh, this is an amazing moisturizer for dry skin. It's oil-free and it just really hydrates and absorbs right in. And you get it smells nice too, and it's all natural. There's nothing in it that is fake fragrance. But this is 4 ounces. That's a lot of moisturizer in a day and age where most moisturizers look like that, or, you know, maybe like this, and really you're paying for packaging. This is a very, I mean, what you see is what you get. It's the bottle, and everything in it is just pure product. That's 4 ounces of pure product. So that is a great moisturizer for oily skin. It's called Hydrating-Facial-Moisturizer. I don't get any commission off this. I send people there because it's owned by a pro makeup artist. She's a single mother, and I love supporting women, and I love her products. And this really hydrates, but look, it doesn't leave any greasy, and I feel just velvety, okay? So you're gonna do maybe a vitamin C, maybe not. Not everyone has to do vitamin C, but it's great for clarity and brightening the skin and lightening sunspots over time. A really light moisturizer. And then you can do SPF, and then you wanna wait, right? And this is a great SPF for oily skin. The Naturium UV Reflect. It's so nice. I'll put it on this hand. First of all, it's really watery, so that should be really nice for oily skin who doesn't want that thick sunscreen on, especially because they feel like they're suffocating. But that is a beauty. Look at that. Instantly kind of a matte or velvet finish, okay? So that is really nice. You know, of course, I love, love, love. This is my #1. I wear it every day, but it's thick. It lightens my skin. It lightens all my flaws. It kind of lightens all my sunspots. So I love this, but I could see this being too thick for women who are really oily, okay? So there you go. That's all you need on your skin, that, you know, an SPF, and then wait a few minutes. You want that SPF to really sink in. And then, this is so good. This is so good. This is Youthforia. She, during the quarantine, she developed the blush oils that kind of like change color to your skin. Like it might look a little different on you than me, almost like a mood blush. She developed this, but this is called her pre-game primer. Okay. Now this is made for all skin types, but specifically it's great for oily because it prevents your skin from producing more sebum, which breaks up your makeup so you can't keep it on. This is like a special kind of film, and I know that sounds terrible. You won't feel it. It feels like nothing, but it does put a film to prevent your sebum from breaking through your primer and breaking up your makeup. And it's really, really nice. And I'm going to put it on right here so you can see it. I'm going to put some on. It's a hot day. There's 0 fragrance. And I'm just putting it where I have pores, right? I don't need it every inch of my face. I'm just putting it where I have pores and I would need to keep my makeup on. And that's it. And that's it. And then look at that. You can't even see it. It's great under every brand I've tried. It's great under Saint, but I specifically love it for oily skin. Now, 2 weeks ago, I have a funny little story. 2 weeks ago, I got a message from someone who said, Tears for Fears is coming to Nashville. They're looking for a makeup artist. Can you be here in a day? And I couldn't make it work. I had prior commitments and I couldn't make it work. But I was going to bring this with me because it's great for men, because men won't feel it on their face. But if you're up on stage performing and it's hot, or just men run hot, women run hot, we all run hot, right? Especially in the summer. This is something that will really look great on the face, and it'll prevent any makeup from breaking up. And it's a good primer for men. It's a good primer for women. That's the Youthforia, okay? I always have this in my shelf for, this is under summer essentials, but you could use this year round, but really nice for hot, humid, hot days with oily skin. When you're breaking your makeup, you can't keep your makeup on. This is great. Okay. Then let's say you have makeup on or you don't have makeup on. And remember, when you put on a primer, you just want to wait a couple minutes for it to set before putting makeup on. Now, I have a lot of desk work to do today. I just got back from Nashville very, very late last night. I have so much to do and get caught up on. So I'm not wearing makeup today. I just wanted to do a quick YouTube to help my oily friends. But let's say you wear makeup. Let's say you put a little powder, put a little powder on, especially the T-zone, or you can powder all over. Sometimes I powder the sides of my face because I wear creams and I don't want my hair sticking to my face. You could do a little bit of powder. But my favorite thing that should be in everybody's purse, and it's always in my set bag, and anytime I go to touch up like a news anchor or an athlete or anybody, is oil blotting powders. Now these are by Saint, but in my store, you have Sephora. Their blotting powder or papers are only $4. I have Tatcha. Tatcha makes beautiful rice paper ones for $14, for $40. But what I would do when I would go up to people is, you don't want to keep powdering. Like every hour I would run into the studio for my ESPN crew, right? Or my on-air talent. You don't want to powder over sebum. You don't want to powder over sweat all the time. You can do it a little bit, but it'll start to build up. It'll start to get cakey. It'll start to make the skin look dead and dull. And it's on high def TV, remember? So we don't want that buildup. So I would go in and I would do oil blotting powder or papers, see? And I've been using oil blotting papers since the 90s. Isn't that gross? I'm not even oily, and look, that just did a great job. But I would use, if I remember working in Nordstrom, and I would use the toilet seat liners. If I was just in a pinch, I always had oil blotters. In the 90s, I always had oil blotters in my purse. But if I was in the bathroom, maybe it was after lunch, and I was running to the restroom real quick before I ran back down to the Mac counter at Nordstrom, and I would look in the mirror and I had any kind of oil, I would just reach behind me, grab a toilet seat liner and press it to my face, and it would take the oil off. The problem with that type of paper, though, is it also lifted off a little bit of makeup. These don't. So always, always do a paper, an oil blotting paper, wherever there is shine first, before going in and going, okay, now I can do the tiniest bit of powder, okay? Always have these in your purse. You can do them in the car. You can do them at your desk. You can do them at home. You could do them anywhere. They're wonderful. And I always have them in my set bag, and I use them on men and women, okay? Oil blotting papers. Then let's say you are having a no makeup day like me. There are a couple things you can do under the eye when you just don't want to wear makeup, but you also want to get kind of rid of the, ooh, something feels funny here. I don't know. Anyway, you can get rid of a little bit of discoloration. And this is the Milani, what is this called? Milani Supercharged. It comes in peach. This is 120 Supercharged. It's like a color corrector, but it's also like a skincare. Okay, and it comes in deeper colors too for deeper skin. You'll have to go and just see what the color is. Now, this is not something I would probably do for every day. And if you're here from Saint, no, I wouldn't wear this under Saint. But on a day like today, or if I was just working out, or if I was going to, take a walk with a friend or grab coffee real quick, I think that that is a really nice color corrector that works really quickly. You can even keep that in your purse, And then Catrice just sent me this. This is called their under eye brightener. this is like $5. It reminds me of the one by Becca that everyone used to buy, and I always had Becca in my kit, but I didn't use it a lot. I didn't love it on a lot of women, but it's a little more pink than peach. And I did take this to Nashville because I wanted to play with it. It definitely brightens the under eye and cancels some of that darkness, but it is also really more for fair and like light skin. You're not going to, if you're any darker than me, you're not going to use this. It's going to be too light. It's almost too light for me. But in a pinch, you know, on days where I just rolled out of bed in the hotel and Gracie and I ran and got coffee real quick, and I just put on SPF and a little bit of this, it was great. It was great. So you can see that. Minus, look, I'm not wearing my contacts, so you can see big dents in my nose from my readers. But see, it kind of brightened that darkness, and this one was more peachy. So let's see if we can lighten my, let's lighten my dents from my readers. Gosh, they're so deep. There. Helped a little bit, right? Okay. Then another thing you can do is, again, this is the best setting spray. I know I have always told you, get Charlotte Tilbury. It's the best. This bumped it off number one. This is the Caliray Surf Proof. It's more of a mist. Look at this. Look at that. It's just so nice. It's so nice. But what you could do is you could spray a little bit on your hand, get the little corner of your Stands Out sponge or your beauty blender, and you can lock your makeup, concealer, color corrector. You can lock that all into place and then let that dry, okay? So let's break that down. We need less skincare with oily skin. Now, when we start getting back into the winter months, you can start doing more of those really light layers. But as an oily skin who produces sebum, you always need to keep to light layers. You just do. You don't need anything heavy for your skin. You already have oil. That's great. But then you're going to do some type of light oil-free moisturizer, then an SPF, and then this Youthforia is a phenomenal primer. It's phenomenal. And then, you know, if on a day where you don't want to wear makeup, but you just want to lighten that under eye, Milani makes different colors. Go check it out. It's at most drugstores. And Catrice is at some drugstores, but I always find Catrice online. I go straight to them, Catrice. And this one is called, is this pink? It's called Light Rose. Light Rose, and it's a light pink, and this is more peach, okay? And then always keep oil blotters in your purse because it will lift all that oil off your face and make you feel fresh again without having to add powder, unless you want to add a little powder afterwards. But then you're not adding powder to oil, which can make a mess. Yeah, so there you have it. And then, of course, you can always, during the day, if you feel really hot, you could always do a refreshing oil or a refreshing spray. Let me see a nice one. This one's by Caudalie. Do I have more? I probably don't have more up here, but you could always do like a really refreshing spray. Oh, just instantly, like, you know, put it on your neck, put it on your wrist. Oh, it smells so good. This smells like a spa. This is the Caudalie Beauty Elixir. Comes in glass though, so it's kind of hard to carry it around. They do make the travel size, and sometimes I'll throw that in my bag. But on a hot day, it just feels so good to mist off. So those are some great tricks. And please come back and let me know how that works for you. Let me know in comments if anything I said today is like new information that you've never heard before, because that gives me good feedback if I'm actually helping you or just wasting my time and your time. But I really, really see too many women, and I get emails all week long of, I can't keep my makeup on. And that's not just with Saint, that's with every kind of makeup. And it's mostly in summer, and it's always my oily skinned ladies. So scale back on skincare. You do not need as much. You need hydration. You don't need a lot of layers. And you do need a really good primer is super important. And when I learned how this was made and the ingredients and how it's a special film to protect your makeup from breaking up, and also helps you, there's a little skincare in this to actually help you not produce as much sebum. It kind of cuts sebum production. I'm a big fan of this. I will be buying another one because I want to keep this for me. And then I want another one in my kit for oily women and for men, because men are always oily. They always have larger pores. It's just the nature of being a man. And I think that's it. Don't forget Caliray. It's surf proof. It's the best setting spray I've ever used. I love it. And I think that's it. So I hope that helps. Next week, I think I'm going to be back discussing my 6-month follow-up on my plastic surgery. So if you're new here, I had a lower facelift. They do a deep plane, so they lift your muscles, which is, you know, I've always had these cheeks. They didn't change that, but everything's just a little bit higher. I got a nice jawline back. It got rid of my gels. My neck is lovely when I have good posture. When I have good posture, my neck is beautiful. The minute I like lean forward and do like a turn, look, that is just crepey, sun damaged skin. We're going to talk about that. I have a ton of sun damage down here. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about more psychology. We're going to talk about what he says to me because I'm visiting him tomorrow, and we're going to do a 6-month review. But I did lower facelift and he did upper bleph. I used to have a much hooded eye, and now he took the hood out and I have a nice crease and an eyelid, and I'm very happy with that. I did not do a brow lift because look, there's just not enough to lift at this point. Will I someday? I don't know. We're going to take it year by year, but I can't wait to talk to you about it because there's so much psychology that goes into this. And if I can help anyone avoid spending a lot of money, because the inevitable is we all still are aging. We all still are middle-aged, whether you're a little more picked up or not. I want to talk to you about all of that. So check back next week for my 6-month review and updates, and we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Okay. I'm glad you're here. Thank you so much. God loves you. So do I. Tate's down here. He says bye too. See you next week.